Years ago, I said to myself that when it comes to my birthday, I'm the only one that's supposed to spoil it or cause myself to be aggravated. So, for me, birthdays are very important, whether it's mine or other person's. I love celebrating other person's birthday with them, right? Because it's truly a blessing to have another year, to be another year older. A lot of people persons complain about, getting older and don't get old, but no, I do want to get old because the alternative is not the greatest. So, um, went on holiday just a week ago for my birthday, and I tell you, God have a way of testing us, right, to see how we're gonna behave. Anyway, so got to the resort, and on the reservation, the check-in time said it was at 3 o'clock. We got in a little bit before 3, and we get to the counter to check in, and they said that the room is not ready yet. However, their check-in time is at 4. So they were going to try and get us in our room earlier. And I said, no, well, online it said that our check in is at 3. Nevertheless, they said, okay, they're going to check us in and we could go ahead and enjoy the resort, go get something to eat, relax, and all this kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay. So we went and we went and ate and had sat down. Then my sister came to join us, and I even fell asleep because we're sitting in the area was like kind of outside and it was right by the pool, and then the wind from the ocean and then the pool and the sweet breeze. And I was tired because the night before, whenever I'm traveling, it's very difficult for me to sleep. So I was already exhausted. So I literally put my head down on one of my bags and I went to sleep. So in the meantime, my husband, like around almost 5 o'clock, my husband gets up to go check on the room to see if it's ready. And they told him they were going to give him a different room and that our room wasn't ready yet and all this other stuff. And they were going to move us to another part of the resort, which didn't make sense where they were going to move us. It wasn't what we originally had booked. So he declined, and they said it was going to be 15 more minutes. So he's like, okay, we'll wait for the 15 minutes. Nevertheless, I didn't know this. I was sleeping at the time. So when I finally wake up now and I'm like, oh my God, it's like almost 6 o'clock. I won't have to be ready. He goes, well, I just went to them like about half an hour or so ago and they weren't ready. So then I said, this is ridiculous. It's unacceptable that they have us sitting here waiting all this time. We paid for something and, we're not even enjoying it. So by this time I was very annoyed. I get up and I walk over to the customer service desk, waited in line, and then went up to the gentleman. And he went on to proceed to tell me that they were still waiting for the supervisor of housekeeping to go and inspect the room to see if it's good enough. So it's not ready yet. So I said, sir, this is totally unacceptable. We've been waiting here now for almost 3 hours. And I said, this is my birthday and you're ruining it. I said, look at me. I am tired, I'm frustrated, and you're making me annoyed. And for me, I don't want to be annoyed for my birthday. And I don't want anyone disappointing me for my birthday. I said, I made a promise to myself that I would never allow anyone to do this to me. And I said, you are about to get me to that brink. And so he's like, I'm sorry, whatever. And I said, I understand that, it's not your fault because you did not make the time, you did not create the website, you're not responsible for it. However, you work at this place, so therefore somehow it falls on you. However, I need to be checked into my room and go to relax. So then he said, okay, 1 second. He walks away. He goes and speaks to this lady and then comes back and says, okay, here's what we're going to do for you. We're going to put you in a different room and whatever. So I said, no, this is unacceptable. So after I waited for over 3 hours, you keep telling me that this supervisor is going to go and check the room. Now you're asking me now again, now you're going to move me. Why didn't you put me in that room all this time? So now you have me sitting here waiting for 3 hours. I fell asleep outside by the pool, around the table, and now come back after you keep saying 15 minutes, 15 minutes. And this is our third time coming back to hear the same thing. So then I said, no, I want the room that we originally paid for. And so he was like, okay. So he said, give him 15 more minutes and whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I went, and this time I didn't leave. I stayed in the lobby. And I sat down right there and I waited like for 30 minutes. I walked back over to him. And then that he said to me that it's going to, the room is ready. So I said, okay. So I said, what are you guys going to do for us for the inconvenience that we received? And so he went and he said he's not able to do that. So he will ask the supervisor. So she comes over and she says to me, well, you were not inconvenienced because we offered to give you a different room to the gentleman, which is my husband, and he declined. And so, you guys opted not to take the room that we were offering you, so you were not inconvenienced. I said, well, first of all, you had our check-in time was supposed to be 3. You said 4. And even then, at 4 o'clock, our room still wasn't ready. After 5, our room still wasn't ready. Not even the room that you were so-called offering us after we sat here for almost 3 hours. Nevertheless, I said, you know what? Never mind. Because of the how she responded to me, and how I saw she was like about to climax, I said, you know what? Never mind. I said, I just need someone to help us with our bags to get to the room. And the gentleman came, helped us to get to the room, and we walked to a room. So we're in the room. I lay down in the bed, and I step outside, and I'm looking at the ocean view, and I'm like, yes, I love water. I love being out by the ocean, especially around my birthday time, right? That's my thing. And so I was laying in the bed, and maybe like an hour or so later, the phone rings. I answer the phone, and this young lady was on the phone, and she goes, hi, good afternoon. How are you doing? How's the room? I said, well, the room is beautiful, and but I'm not doing okay. And then I explained myself to her, and I explained the situation and exactly what happened. She goes, she said that to you? And I'm like, yes, that's exactly what she said. And then she says, I'm so sorry for your inconvenience and for the response. What I can go ahead and do for you is allow you to take a late checkout. So I said to her, well, that's not going to work for us because we're leaving earlier than checkout because of the time frame of our flight and the distance from the airport to the resort. So in return, she said, I explained to her, I was like, you know what? I noticed that a lot of times when nationals come home to their country, they're not treated correctly, and but yet I see that the persons will run behind others, and those people will get up without even leaving them a dollar. And I said, but I know what it's like to work. You're just getting your salary, so therefore, in a situation like this, even though you're getting a salary in this setting, tips are okay. They help out because I know what it's like. Sometimes salaries is not even enough to cover the bills. So I said, I will never get up, no matter what it is, without leaving a tip for you guys. But I watch you guys, how you guys operate around other people, and as if, they're going to leave you a big amount of money. And these people say, well, this is all inclusive, already paid. I don't have to leave you a dime. I don't have to tip. And so therefore, what you're running behind and how you're treating others that will be willing to even take care of you, it's not right. And so she's like, I understand, and whatever. And she's like, what I'm going to do is, in 30 minutes I'm going to set up a bottle of champagne for you guys, for your birthday, for your inconvenience. And then any of the restaurants that you go tonight, just let them know that it's your birthday, and they'll bring out the birthday cake for you, and tell them your room number, and they'll bring out a birthday cake for you and stuff. And I said, oh, okay. I said, thank you very much. But in that moment, and I told her, I said, if it was a few years ago, I would have blasted that lady at the counter. I would have been very upset. I would have tell her a piece of my mind and let her know how rude she is, but not in such a nice way. However, for me, I hate, when I mean hate, having to do the walk of shame. So I can say that I'm a follower of Christ, and then I'm going to act out of character and, come down to their level, and then start speaking and reacting a certain way. And then afterwards, after I walk away and I calm down, then I'm going to reflect back, and then the Holy Spirit's going to be like, okay, you think that's right. You're okay with that behavior. You're okay with dealing with someone like that. Then I'm gonna have to walk back and apologize to her. She's not gonna think to, hey, I'm wrong and I instigated it. The point of the matter is that I shouldn't, if it can be avoided, to allow my anger to get to rage and to come out of character, avoid it, because I don't want to have to apologize to someone. So even in that moment on holiday, I was being tested, and in the end, look at the result. I end up getting something that normally you would have to pay for, out of the person was even thinking and being nice about things. So it's always good to sometimes taking a deep breath, and don't let others cause you to get pulled out of character, where you're going to be convicted and have to go and apologize because of your behavior. So that's my little tidbit from my birthday fiasco. Well, it's not really a fiasco. My birthday getaway, I should say. And that was like another learning experience for me. Like, just, continue to remember that no matter where you are, you are a child of God, and you're reflecting, God, and you're a reflection of God. So therefore, your characteristics have to be displayed. So one don't even have to question who you are based on your mannerisms and how you behave. One will know that, yes, okay, you know, this person did not deserve to be treated in this manner and in this way. All right, that was it.